The ButtKicker Gamer 2. What you see and what you hear is what you feel. ButtKicker. The future is feeling.
Hello race fans, welcome back to the second installment of the night, as this is the second race we brought to you here by Freaky Fast here tonight from the Elite Racing Leagues, and this is the RSR Cup Series. Remember, this is race number 2 of the round of 16 at Chicagoland Speedway. So we got our second race of the playoffs here tonight. Remember, after one more race, we'll cut it down to 16 from 16 drivers down to 12. So it's going to be an extra special night here at the Chicagoland Speedway for these playoff drivers to be able to push themselves farther up that board and be able to take themselves out of that bubble zone going into the playoffs. And also remember, the RSR Cup Series is brought to you by their proud sponsor of Ord Nissan Central, the leading Nissan Central dealership in Oklahoma City. I'm Zach Hall, and tonight alongside me in the booth calling action with Brandon Colley, and we got Robert Moyer running the cameras. How are you fine gentlemen doing tonight?
Doing pretty good. Excited to see what these guys are able to do here at Chicagoland. Pretty fun track, one of my favorite tracks to run at, and looking forward to this race.
Definitely so, as we're 3 minutes into qualifying already, as Matthew Rush has put it on the top time with Dustin Stallings in second, Bob Fitzpatrick our points leader, third, Travis Everett fourth, and Brock Potter in fifth. And the big thing coming into tonight here, as we have stage racing, that is always a big thing here in the Cup Series, you know, getting those bonus points carry over. We got a stage at lap 40 and lap 80, so those two stages there, we will see who can take home that maximum 10 points, help them in the playoff standings. But we should get into the point standings here and get a look at those, as race number 1 shook things up quite a bit here at RSR Cup Series here, because man, I tell you what, it's super important to be able to put yourself in between the gaps. And here we is, our points right here as we look at them. Actually, those points are not correct. Those are from last week's, but I do hold on one moment. Yeah, I do have our points here in front of me. Bob Fitzpatrick there is your points leader. He's got a 26-point gap back to the cut line. You got GT Irizarry in second. He's got a 25-point cut back. Curtis Preston, he's got 25 back in third. Fourth is Matthew Rush. He is 20 up. Oh, and here we go. Now we got the points. So yeah, Matthew Rush there in the fourth position. He is 20 points above the cut line. Tied with him for fourth is Kevin Sevilla. He's also 20 up, and also Zach Schrithenthal. All three tied there from 4th, 5th, and 6th. They're 20 points up. 7th is Nolan Potter. He's 16 up from the cut line. 8th is Travis Everett. He's 15 above the cut line. 9th, our winner earlier from the night, Randy Cornwell. He is 14 up in the 9th position. 10th is Scott Taylor. He's plus 10, and he came from 16th, so good on him coming outside of the top 12 to get in there. 11th is Matt Upbrook. and he's 7 above. And remember, going into the night, he was only in the second position. 12th is Michael Sheffield. He's 7 up there, and he was in 3rd coming into last week, so he fell down a bit. But our 4 guys in trouble here tonight is 7 down is Andrew Little in 13th. 14th is Brock Potter with 14 points behind. 15th is Harold Watkins, 14 behind, and 16th will be David Edwards. He's not on there as he's not done a race yet. He's 32 back in 16th. And those are your playoff drivers. Here's we got the grid set here tonight, and we will go through our grid here at Chicagoland Speedway here for tonight's Chicagoland 140. Matthew Rush is your pole setter, winning the Sheffield Graphics Pole Award in that number 11. Second goes to Dustin Stallings. Third is Kevin Giad Roche. 4th goes to Tony Ludi. 5th is your point setter Bob Fitzpatrick. Travis Everett there in 6th position. Brock Potter 7th. Nolan Potter 8th. 9th goes to Harold Watkins. And in 10th, you got Zach Schrittenthal. 11th goes to Ryan Bean. 12th is Adam Buzzio. 13th, Curtis Preston. 14th is GT Irizarry. 15th is Kevin Sabilla. 16th is David Hall. 17th, Andrew Little. 18th, Daniel Gonzalez. 19th, Kevin Ruff. 20th is Scott Taylor. 21st is Chad Biesinger. 22nd, Randy Cornwell. 23rd, Mark Andre Thibodeau. 24th is Craig A. Burns. 25th, J.R. Miller. 26th is Nathan Gamble. 27th is Casey Coots. 28th is Michael Sheffield. 29th, Anthony Yuns. 30th, Ryan Ezel. 31st, Mike Martino III. 32nd, Robert Nestor. 33rd, Matt Upbrook. 34th, Rickard Gonzalez. 35th, Kevin Zalabadil. 36th, Drew Hatcher. And rounding out the field is 37th, Michael Haru. And we will get a talk here real quick in with our pole setter here tonight of Matthew Rush. We find him at the moment. We'll get a quick chat with him as we got a little bit of time. All right, here's Matthew Rush. We'll get a talking here with our man Brandon Cullen.
Hey Matthew, it's Brandon up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, hi Brandon, how you doing?
I can't complain. You managed to snag the pole by a little over 100th of a second. What are you anticipating in this race? You got a game plan going in? How you feeling about it?
Good. I just want to stay towards the front, stay clean, and hope to put a good strategy together and be there at the end.
Well, starting from the pole, it's a good way to make sure you stay up towards the front with that preferred starting position. Well, good luck here as you guys are rolling down the backstretch, and hopefully we will have a talk with you between one of these stages and maybe the podium at the very end. So good luck, sir.
Thank you.
All right, that is Matthew Rush there in the Clutch Motorsports number 11 Chevrolet. He is your pole winner tonight. And remember, coming into tonight, he's 4th in the points, so that's a good way to start off tonight. So congrats to him on that pole. And guess what, guys? We're getting ready to kick this off, and we're going to get that green flag here in one moment to kick off tonight's race. And very, very important race number 2 of the round of 16. We'll see how this all shakes up for 140 laps here. Remember, stage caution number 1 at lap 40, stage 2 at 80. And green flag in the air. Number 11, Matthew Rush takes off with Dustin Stallings on the outside. Kevin Gian Roach in that bottom lane in the 9 car with the 13 of Tony Ludi up high. This looks like Kevin's got a pretty good run already to start this off.
Yeah, and one thing you'll notice is on fresh tires, especially with the track temp being so low as it's a night race, you can hold these cars wide open for quite a long time. You're gonna have to manage, exactly how long you want to do that to not burn up your right front. But these guys, it's gonna be a little bit like Talladega last week, just on a smaller track stack.
Yeah, that's a fat track there if I've ever heard one. Look at Kevin in the 9 trying to take it around the outside. Yes, he does. It takes a lead. The thing is, wide open here early on at the track, all around this place. But as these tires start to fall off, you're going to see the guys that didn't go wide open in the beginning and saved a little something come forward. So I think you're going to see some comers and goers, but these tires also plateau out. As we're looking at Bob Fitzpatrick Jr. there running in the 4th on the outside. I tell you what, from behind there, it is getting pretty crazy from Tony Ludi back in that 13 machine there as we look at Nolan Potter in the middle, that 34.
And it's an issue that you kind of have to be really careful with here in Chicago with these Cup cars. You know, everybody is able to push it so hard that you get these, you know, packs that form and everybody's side by side. You get a run and there's just not really anywhere to go with it. You know, especially this early in the race, you don't want to risk shooting 3 wide, having a problem. You just kind of want to take it slow and find the positions where you can get them and maybe get some stage points at the end and then make it to the end of the race, especially.
Very, very important, that's for sure, Brandon. Those stage points, those are crucial for these playoffs. And here right on the front bumper, Nolan Potter, he is coming in tonight 7th in points, so looking pretty good so far. Start off in for that 12th position. It's going to want to get that top 10 to go get some points here by lap 30 or 40, sorry.
Now, and looking at the race they're going to be expecting a pit stop about 30 laps in. They can go anywhere from 28 to 30 laps on fuel. So they'll be just shy of the stage break here. Barring any cautions, you know, as we saw in the last race with the ARC cars, that you can save a lot of fuel under yellow. So if they get some early cautions here, some guys might just try to save and make it to the end to sneak out some stage points.
Very possible. Look at there's Ryan Bean in the 25 there, last week's winner. They're in the 7th position, now 6th, into the inside of that 13 of Tony Ludi. So now behind Bob Fitzpatrick in the 3. The thing is here early, you can really use your stuff up though, in my opinion, here at Chicagoland. It's a track, like I said, pretty much wide open for the first, I'd say 6 to 7 laps, really, even maybe even 10. You see the 25 gets the inside here.
Yeah, you can, you know, it's false confidence, I'd say. You know, you can run wide open and feel really good, but the second that you overheat those tires, you know, you think, okay, I can still keep going because one lap it's planted firm. The next lap you try to throw it wide open and the car just doesn't stick anymore. It catches you really off guard. So these guys, I'm sure they put in a lot of practice and realize, you know, when the fall off point is, when they need to start taking it easy.
Definitely have as we look here at GT and the 14 machine now. Trying to make his way up through the field. He started 14th, but looking to the inside here now. Trying to take that 9th position. But really, as everybody out there viewing, we can see up top here we have the top 7 drivers up at the top of the board. And those yellow highlighted drivers are your playoff drivers. So those guys are looking in good position. Especially Brock Potter, they're running in 4th at the moment here, 9 laps in. He coming to tonight, 14 points out in that 14th position. So definitely going to need a good point tonight for Brock Potter in that number 4.
Yeah, he's done a really good job of putting himself in a position where he can just ride there. You know, it's not the max points you can get for the stage, but 4th in the stage, still a good amount of points, and it'll help you out in the long run. And as we've also got our pole sitter, Matthew Rush, you know, he said in his interview that he wanted to try to stay up towards the front. And he's not leading right now from where he started, but still running 2nd. So he's accomplishing that so far.
Yeah, and one person I noticed dropping back here's looking at this pack battle. And these guys have been kind of going at 2x2 the whole time. Here's 84 looks, Dustin Stallings looks to get by the 11 of Matthew Rush there. But Thompson Patrick, our leader in points, 26 up here coming into the night in that 3 machine. He started in the 5th position. He's slowly dropping back, but I think that's what you're going to see. Some guys that are saving their stuff. I would expect if we get this thing to go all the way, I would expect to see that 3 start to march his way forward.
Yeah, and you know, looking at it, his time, Zach, it seems as though he's running 2 to 3 tenths slower, so he's just taking it easy. And when these tires fall off, they really fall off. So he's going to have a big advantage if he can keep the tires underneath him. And I would not be surprised to see him gain those positions back before too much longer.
And then you see Randy Cuomo making his way up, and he's all the way up now to that 10th position there, passing his teammate Bob Fitzpatrick. And that's from 22nd to 10th. So biggest mover through the field there of Randy Cuomo, winner earlier from Texas.
Yeah, and as we saw in the race at Texas, a lot of guys making up a lot of spots. As somebody just dropping down the scoreboard there. I don't know if that was a connection issue or something, but I guess somebody blinked up at the front. But you know, we saw that he is really good at saving tires. That is Randy Cornwell, and you know, he's charging right now. But I really wouldn't say that he's burning up his stuff. He seems like a really smart driver and knows how to manage his tires. So he's getting a lot of speed out of them now. But I'm sure he's also taking very good care of them.
Definitely.
Oh, we got a wreck.
Matthew Rush and Brock Potter. Big hit though for the 18 of Randy Cornwell. That is not a good look there for playoff drivers in the 11, the 4, and the 18. But it all started up here with the 4 and the number 11 of Matthew Rush. And that is night over for a lot of these guys. And even Bob Fitzpatrick, our point leader, taking a heavy hit there. Wow, guys.
A lot of playoff drivers involved in that one. That's really unfortunate.
Here we'll go back to our Nissan Central replay here from the caution. We're going to see here 25 a little bit. The 11 had got into the wall. I was watching it from the 11 had got into the wall, entering the 3 and 4. So got in the wall. Oh, man, just clipped the left or the right rear of that 4, shooting the 4 up into the wall. Unfortunate start there for the 11. Oh, look, I think GT actually got a piece of that too. I believe that was GT.
I'll tell you, Zach, looking at that, I feel like what happened there is Matthew thought that Brock Potter, you know, he knew he was inside of him, but I think he figured he was going to be a lot lower on the apron, as you'll see guys, you know, really cutting that front tri-oval there towards the grass. I think he expected him to be lower and was really surprised to see how close he was to the actual racing surface off the apron, and just slight miscalculation and hooked him, caused a big problem for a lot of guys.
That it did. You can see the 78 of Kevin Sabilla, another playoff driver coming into the night. He was in the 5th position in points, so a little damage there. And I believe it was Nolan Potter who may have just clipped that wreck. And he got lucky because actually, I'll go back and check that out one more time. I want to get that right. Looks like that was actually the. Well, I'm having a tough time. The 22 of Harold Watkins, who he actually neck coated through him, so he got no damage in the 22. So very lucky there. But now, look how this shakeup happens here now, as we had guys pit. I believe the pit there was for fuel. You know, now they can make it to the end of the stage, not waste that set of tires, as they only have 3 sets in the pits.
That's exactly right, Zach. You know, looking at the pit times, I didn't figure anybody would be taking tires. Pretty much everybody identical pit stops, just filling up on fuel. Some of the other guys were in the caution, obviously, on pit road for a little bit longer, getting some damage repaired to go out and salvage as many points as possible for some of the guys with the more severe damage on their cars.
Looks like the next set of guys will be pitting this time here. Looks like Michael Sheffield. Oh. Yeah, 75 gets into the wall and pit stop there. Michael Martino. So yeah, those guys who stayed out that last time I will come down pit road. I believe they were trying to lead a lap, but I don't think they got the lap led even though.
I'd imagine that's why some of them stayed out a little bit longer, maybe just thinking that gain that 1 point, because it will make a world of difference, especially how close a lot of these guys are on points right now. You know, some tied, 3-way tie, and some only a handful off. So any points you can get.
Definitely so. There's you look at the Flyboy Racing's number 84 leading this race here. For Dustin Stallings, a non-playoff contender. Last week we seen non-playoff contenders get the victory in Ryan Bean. So it's definitely not unlikely for a non-playoff guy to come in here and win. They got a lot of tough competitors here, and we should see a heck of a battle. But I tell you what, who really did a great job through all this is Curtis Preston in the 29. He coming into tonight was 3rd in points, 25 up, so only 1 point out of the lead entering tonight, and he's up to that 2nd position now. Started 13th. Very, very big move for him up to the front to possibly get some strong stage points here early in this race.
And not only stage points, Zach, but his closest competitor in the 3 car, uh, name escapes me at the moment. My apologies, but Bob Fitzpatrick. There you go. That incident is really going to hurt him. So this is a great opportunity for Curtis Preston to gain a lot of points.
Yeah, Bob on pit road right now, 2 laps down. You got Randy Cornwell on pit road, 2 laps down. Brock Potter on pit road, 2 laps down. Matthew Rush, 2 laps down. That is a heavy, heavy blow to a lot of drivers. Andrew Little, also a playoff driver, knocked out here early. Yeah, man. The hole for some of these guys is getting deeper and deeper. It's gonna be tough to dig out of next week.
Yeah, especially, coming out of a race that's such a cluster that, Talladega normally brings. A lot of these guys had a bad points night last week, and we're really hoping to salvage some and have a good next 2 races before the next round starts. But it's not starting very well for them, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. As the
Green,
pace car
green,
pulls
green.
off this time, and we're about to get the green flag back out here. Dustin Stallings leading the field in the number 84. Got the 29 Curtis Preston on the outside with Kevin G. Roach there in that 3rd position, pushing that 84. Great battle.
Yeah, front 3 out to a nice little gap here, and they could have just fallen in line. Looks like they're still going to try to maybe make up some positions before they settle down once the tires come up to town.
Yeah, you gotta get what you can get here early, because we're gonna be coming right now here, 21 to go in this stage. Kind of gotta, I don't want to say burn your stuff up, but you've already kind of run 20 laps on this now. You kind of gotta use your stuff that you got, and we'll see what these gentlemen can do as they try to position themselves in now for some playoff or some stage points. Because, like we said, they're gonna be so crucial in going to Dover next week, which is a tough racetrack. Anything can happen at Dover.
Yeah, we've seen it in a lot of the races we broadcast there, Zach, where just a small incident ahead of you can really stack up and collect a lot of cars, as there's not much room to really avoid anything in front of you. So I'm sure a lot of these guys are going to have that on their mind here, just trying to scrape and claw for any little bit of points they can, just to maybe create some kind of buffer.
It'll be very crucial as we look here now. Look at Kevin there getting passed by GT up to the top for that 9. Way high. That's about the 25 of Ryan Beanby.
And looking at some of these moves the guys are making, with how wide open you can be here, and even after the tires wear in, there's really not that much off throttle time. You can't afford to really lift and lose that momentum. So if you have a run, you're almost forced to take it.
That you are. You kind of gotta go, guys. Looking here at Nolan Potter there in 8th position, still running good for him. Kevin tonight in 7th in points, so looking strong here. That would be a good couple bonus points there for him for the stage finish at 8th. He probably wants to get some more.
Yeah, as they say, more is better. So any position he can get here, he's going to be happy about it. But a little ways to go here to close that gap and maybe make the pass, but really dove into 3 there to make up a lot of ground.
Here's David Hall now in that 21 car. They're running in the 5th position now as he's got passed by Robert Nestor. As they go side by side down to 1.
I'll tell you, Zach, I'm looking at the back here, and this fight for 10th position, it's really heating up. The rest of those guys in the top 10 are pretty much single file. But everybody else, they're still side by side until this set of corners here, they finally edge a little gap to single out.
Yeah, at the moment you got Harold Watkins there running in 11th. He really needs these points. He is right now sitting in 15th in points, 14 points out. So any stage points he can get will claw back.
And he's only got 1 position to guarantee some stage points, and I imagine he's going to be making those tires scream just to try to at least get into the top 10. 1 point is definitely better than none.
Anthony Young's there running 10th in the final stage point position. Here's the night. Staying pretty nice and even up front as GT's actually starting to make his charge through the front. He will make the pass for the lead. So GT Irizarry there from 14th to 1st. Curtis Preston now 13th to 2nd. Dustin Stallings back to 3rd.
And this early on, you know, later in the race, that outside, especially when the tires get a lot more worn in, it becomes a lot more viable to make a pass on the outside, especially in 3 and 4, just how bumpy that lower lane is. But just not quite enough for Curtis to really do anything on the high side here, as well as Dustin Stallings losing positions, and now he's done the crossover to get back to the inside lane and maybe retake the lead.
Ooh. 14 really close the door up. Check the 84 up. There's you see they passed Bob Fitzpatrick, who's just come off pit road now from repairs. So big hole for Bob Fitzpatrick to be able to claw back out of. Unfortunate start to the race for him.
And just as we saw, you know, the 84 of Dustin Stallings having to check up, it really opened the door for that pass that he made on the inside going into 3. And you know, it's frustrating anytime you have to lift in these cars, just how big the momentum is. It looks like the leaders are coming up on lap traffic now. Hopefully they can navigate that safely.
Yeah, it's 13 to Tony Ludi, it seems like. He will get by him. Tony bounces off the wall. He loses it in front of the field. He's wrecking right in front of Tim. Oh man, does anybody hit him? I think everybody's gonna get by. Oh, I think that 22 man actually caught him there in Harold Watkins, I believe. I'll have to check that out.
Well,
Yes,
you know,
Harold
Zach,
Watkins did.
I was just thinking, you know, these leaders are just saying, please keep it clean, just stay out of the way, let us go. Right when that incident happened, and I heard a lot of panic voices coming over the radio calling out that wreck.
Yeah, that was panic. There's this second caution of the night for a Nissan Central replay here for the caution. See the 13 bounce off the wall. And then wow, look how close to 25 Ryan Beam was. But look at this here. We'll see the 22 coming in the picture. One of our playoff guys, Harold Watkins, right here, just catch the left front on his rear end of that number 13. And that's going to be big damage on this front end of that 22. And he was running at 11th, trying to get stage points. That may be a big issue for him there.
And getting some radio communication here, Zach, the 13 of Tony Ludi, is saying that he blew up and it put him into the fence. So that would be the cause of what brought out that caution.
Interesting. Unfortunate there for the 22 and the 13 here. And it's definitely looking pretty interesting here, especially because GT Irizarry there in the 14. He's coming in tonight 25 points up. If he can get them 10 bonus points, that's going to put him way out there and have a good shot, maybe get some more stage points and a good finish here tonight to put himself locked in next week. That's what he's trying to do. You also got Curtis Preston, who came in tied with him there, running in third. Next playoff driver would be Travis Everett there in the 59. He's running in fifth. He came in tonight 15 up and 8th. So that would be a good one for him here. The playoff points or stage points. Nolan Potter there in the 34. He is running 7th. He came in tonight 7th in points. So that's good for him. And those are the only playoff guys up in the top 10 at the moment. So Nolan Potter, Travis Everett, Curtis Preston, and GT Irizarry.
Now, Zach, I pose a question to you. If you're one of these guys in the back that, you know, maybe not going to be able to get into the top 10 here for the end of the stage to gain any points, do you pit here so that you cycle around to the lead once the stage caution comes out? I know you're going to be, you know, you're going to have to pit a little bit later in the next stage, or a little bit earlier than these guys in the next stage, but that should also then cycle you back to the lead once the leaders have to come in for their stop. Now, do you take that risk?
I mean, you could come down and put some fuel in there. That could be the risk you play. But at the end of the day, we go here. What we're gonna have is a stage caution here at lap 40. Then we'll have another stage at 80. That'll give us 60 laps to go in this race. So you're still gonna have to make one stop, and I would like to have tires on that last stop. So I'm thinking this first stage, you're not even gonna want to even touch tires when they come down. I mean, it'll be interesting to see who uses the tires then, and it saves them there because I mean you'll still have 2 sets in your pits if you take set there. So it's I tell you what, it's touch and go right now, and with the tire sets, this track is pretty huge on tires. I mean, if you can go out there and run wide open while other guys are having the lift, like you said about the momentum, that's going to be huge momentum. And I don't know, it's track position though is key though. That's the same thing at the same time. I mean, like you said, you can get out there and get some track position. That'd be very nice to have.
That's absolutely right. I'm just racking my brain here trying to figure out what strategy anybody could play to maybe, make up a little bit of track position and some time and maybe find an advantage. But this early in the race, even a slight misstep in your strategy can be disastrous and snowball for the rest of the race. So it's knife's edge for sure.
It's always knife edge on the strategy, man, when it comes to tire limits. You never know when you're making the right decision. That's one of the toughest things about it personally. But I love it. So it's great to have. Here's we're pacing. We were gearing to bring this back green. We're gonna have 7 laps to go in this stage. So I want to be all the way hard as you can push here, and some guys that are on the edge here. Matt Ubrook, I think, is the next guy there in 14th to be sitting outside of the playoff window for stage points. So see how it works out here as they go back. Green Flag Racing GT will take off in that 14. Great restart from him. See what these guys can mount from behind as stage caution number 1 will be coming here at lap 40 very soon.
Now watching, you mentioned Matt Upbrook. He started on the outside, not the best place you want to restart to make up a lot of time in a short amount of laps. But he's managed to get clear, still riding the high side. I don't know if he's going to have the speed to be able to get up into the top 10 for those much needed points.
Yeah, no, it's going to be tough to be able to get himself up there, that's for sure. Here's we're looking at the number 1, Drew Hatcher. They're passing the 17. It's definitely going to be tough as Curtis Preston is all the way back up for GT up front now. And they're going to be trying to get the max 10 points there. Who can ever get that? You also got Travis Everett, too, who's trying to get himself there. Here's Craig Burns running in 17th. You see a little smoker for him. I think that was a car blinking. I think it was all good there. As he would now move up into the 16th position. Or 17th, he keeps flicking back and forth. Coming to 4 to go this time here, for stage number 1. Wow, and up front, GT holding off. Curtis Preston at the moment with Travis Everett there. Next playoff driver running in that 5th position, trying to get up a little bit farther. I mean, that's the whole goal here. Get stage points. These two battle hard for the 10 bonus points.
Well, even farther back to the 10th and 11th position, from 8th to 10 or to 11th, they're under a blanket right now as Casey Kuntz is looking to make his way into the top 10. He's just been stalking him for the last couple laps, and he's finally making his move now.
Yeah, he is, and Travis Everett now trying to push himself up to the top 4. This is some good racing here. Curtis Preston also got Dustin Stallings, who says, "It ain't over yet, boys." Coming to 2 to go here for stage number 1 at the RSR Cup Series in race number 2 of the round of 16.
Looking at these guys, it's tough because you want, the max stage points, but how hard do you push? Do you risk that incident this early in the race? I don't know. Risk versus reward, sometimes it pays off, but sometimes it'll bite you. As we got a little bump draft from the 59 to Kevin Jadricic, it was enough to help him by, to move him into third place.
That it was here, and now coming this time, white flag in the air for stage number 1. That's the Sheffield Graphics white flag for stage number 1, and man, I tell you what, like you said, I don't know about the risk, but you definitely want the points. I mean, personally positioned GT and Curtis are sitting in. They're both 25 up coming into tonight here, second and third points. They definitely just want to get finished. And Curtis is going to send it on GT actually off of 4. I think he's going to make the pass, and he turns them.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
And they wreck. Oh my goodness gracious.
And exactly what we were talking about. It, you know, you were already ahead, and you could have gained 10 extra points, but you just lost a lot more than that.
Man, oh man. It looks like Kevin Jadricic will be our stage winner. We'll go back on replay here at the Ord Nissan Central Caution. And look at this. 29 tries to clear, and he did, but he was just on the front bumper of the 4. The 4 did not lift and said, no, sir. Sends him around. Then the 4 gets hit by the 9. Man, oh man. That is definitely an intense, crazy finish here as these guys come down to pit road for the ending of stage number 1. We'll get a talking with Kevin after they come down pit road and see what they get done on this number 9. Is look at the back of the 14 now. Both of those guys really good in the playoffs looking like, and both just went for it there, and unfortunately not going to end up well.
Well, unfortunately, Zach, you know, they say lick the stamp and send it, but sometimes when you send it, it gets sent to the wrong address, and it looks like that's what happened.
That is, Kevin will win the race off of pit road. I want to check his front end there. Oh, his front end looks all right after the contact to the back of the 14 there. But yeah, there's your winner, Kevin Jadricic. As Brandon can say his name better, I'm trying to learn.
Yeah, Zach, I was looking at it. I saw, you know, the contact during the replay, and so I went back to look at his nose, and I think he got saved by the netcode. I don't know if he was one of the drivers that was saved by netcode earlier in that first incident, but that worked out. I don't know if you can get lucky that many times in a race.
Yeah, definitely. Don't want to push those buttons too many times, right? But we'll go ahead and we'll pull Kevin down here and get a talk in with Kevin about how his stage win was here. Is actually, do we have Kevin? Kevin. Oh nope, there he is. That's right, the very first team. Aha. So moving into the freaky fast waiting room here, and Mr. Kyler will get a talk in with our stage number 1 winner here tonight.
Hey, Kevin, it's Brandon in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, got this first stage win for some nice bonus points. You know, we noticed it was a bit hectic and guys really slicing and dicing. A little bit of misfortune ahead of you allowed you to get the stage win, but you know, we talked about momentum. How important has the momentum been for you? You know, is it you had to check up a bunch, you know, get past? How's it going for you out there?
It seems like momentum's a huge part in tonight's race. If you're stuck on that inside and you can't swing out, if you can't swing down from the outside going into the corner and swing back out coming out of the corner, like, they're gonna pass you like you're standing still.
And it's that's something that we've noticed quite a bit with just having to lift out of the throttle a slight bit seems to cost a lot of time. Did a good job to get yourself up in a position where you could capitalize on the mistake of the 2 drivers in front of you here. You know, what's your game plan going into the rest of the race? You got any strategies in mind to maybe, you know, get ahead of these guys?
The only thing I'm thinking right now is save tires.
Well, saving tires is always a really good strategy. It was, you know, something that we alluded to earlier in the broadcast. But you guys, seeing as you guys are wanting to go, we'll let you go. And good luck. And hopefully we'll see you up here for maybe a podium position at the end of this race.
Awesome, thanks, guys.
All right, that is Kevin Jadrosic. I think I said it better.
There you
But,
go.
was it Jadrosic?
Jadrosic, yep.
There we go. I got it. I'm gonna go. Man, that's exciting. I never thought I'd be able to say that name. Thank God. But we're gonna bring this thing back to green. Great interview there, Kylie, with our stage 1 winner here tonight. Not a playoff driver, but hey, the thing is, you can carry this momentum into the next season here at the Cup Series, and you never know. Maybe next season he will be a playoff driver and get some good experience here. It's like Nolan Potter is our first playoff driver there, running in the 4th position. So, yeah, guys, this is going to get back wild here as we got another 40 laps to lap 80, and we will bring that pace car in and get ready to bring this green flag out. As there it is, green is back out in the air. Kevin Jadrosic takes off from that 1st position with Dustin Stallings 2nd, Kevin Ruff in 3rd, and Junior Miller in the 4th position.
Well, and you mentioned Nolan Potter, being the furthest playoff driver up here. He just was handed a miracle, I suppose. He's able to gain a lot of points on some guys here that are finding misfortune early. I imagine we'll see him giving guys a lot of room to just, kind of stay up front, hope the same thing doesn't happen to him, and continue that advantage.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there as we're looking at Nolan Potter there battling for 31. So it's definitely interesting there as he's on the inside of Casey going down the back straightaway. He definitely gained a lot there with the incident ahead.
And sometimes you just need to have a little bit of luck go your way. And I guess the culmination of a championship is exactly, how much luck you can string in a row. And a little luck mixed with a little bit of skill goes a long way.
That's right. Like we've always said up here, Brandon, me and you, it's better to be lucky than good, man. I'll take luck any days when it comes to getting one of these stage wins or victories overall. So we'll have to see how it plays out. There's the front row racing Casey Kuntz car of number 31, Lead Machine. There. Ahead of Craig A. Burns. There's Craig Burns is starting to make his charge up to the field. And also, so both these guys, really big rumors that Junior Miller, they're 25th to 4th, Casey Kuntz 27th to 6th, Anthony Hughes 29th to 7th, Craig A. Burns 24th to 8th. Big move.
Yeah, so we've got quite a few Craig Burns fans out in the chat cheering him on tonight, and found his way up to 8th position and continuing that charge. Got a nice group of cars ahead of him here to make some passes on it. Maybe find something here to chase down this top 3 and hold up a little bit of a gap.
And there's Dustin Stallings, our leader of this race so far. He's actually starting to pull a gap, like you said, and I think you're seeing Kevin do exactly what he said. In that number 9, he's trying to save some tires. He has the lead and he just drops back, and that's a really smart move in my opinion. It's kind of a stylistic type deal that some guys have. They just would rather give up the lead and just ride and save their tires because they know at some point that could come back around to be the winning strategy.
Yeah, and especially with these tire limits now, being able to manage tires, it's really fallen into the hands of the guys that are so good at it. And as opposed to how it used to be, everybody comes in, slaps on fresh tires, and just full throttle as long as you can, and get another caution, then rinse and repeat. So it really opens up a lot of opportunities for maybe guys who don't have short run speed, but definitely know how to get it done in the long run.
Definitely so here. As you can see, this field all stacked up here. Nolan Potter on the inside of Junior Miller. Also got Casey Kuntz right there behind. You got the 23 of Chad Biesinger there on the inside of Craig A. Burns. And these guys right here, really from second on back, they're just all stacked up as Dustin Stallings actually put out to about a 16th of a second lead there.
And looking at their lap time, Zach, they're running almost identical laps from 1st on to 6th or 7th. So these guys are just kind of all under a blanket. It's just a matter of being in that lane and not letting the guy get a lot of momentum on it.
a few guys definitely did take tires on that stop. Looks like most of them did. So that's an interesting call here. You know, that's using one set, so they got 2 sets back in the pit. If you can get to that stage 2 or number, 80, then you're going to be looking to take another set there, I imagine, and then one final set as you stop at the end of the split the final run of the race there. As you look back here at Ryan Ezel, it's good to see Ryan up here in the 88 up to 13th from that 30th starting position. He had a tough week last week getting taken out early at Talladega, so good to see him bouncing back from that and staying out of some trouble.
Yeah, good confidence boost when you have a bad race. You can come in and just run well and just slowly make up time. And you'll figure out where you're at with your competitors and where you need to make some changes to gain a little bit more speed.
Great racing going all around this racetrack right now as we look at. We're focused on the 13, but ahead of him, or in the 13th position, 88 there. And Scott Taylor there also. He moved up from 16th to 10th also last week in that 24 machine in points, putting himself 10 points above the cut line. So having another good run here tonight up to 11th, and with a few guys up ahead of him having trouble. We'll see if that 24 can continue his way back up, as he actually does have no rear bumper there. So good job with him actually running there in the 12th now position as he's getting overtaken by Nathan Campbell. So looks like Nathan has no front end, does he? Wow.
Down here got the modified putting in some work.
That, as a driver, that has been one thing on iRacing that's always frustrated me, is when you see a guy with no front end pass you and you got like a little crinkle in your car and it's 20 mile an hour off the base. It's like, iRacing, please, damage model, fix it. Because what Nathan Campbell doing, and sorry Nathan, I know you're doing a great job, but your car should not be doing that with no front end. Actually, and look at him get through the back bumper of Anthony Huns here. He might even be able to get some stage points in that car. And the thing is, too, sometimes it is a graphical error, so he may actually have a front end there. I noticed that with some things sometimes. Some people say, man, you ain't got a front end, but on your screen you actually do. So that's a very possible thing there, as you see Travis Everett, one of the playoff drivers in the 59 there behind Tim, running at 12th. So at the moment, we got pretty much Nolan Potter, Zach Schrittenthal. Those are your only playoff guys up in the top 10, because most of the other guys had some trouble tonight. So it's going to be a good little shake-up here in the points as we go to Dover, and I can tell you that's not something you want to see if you're one of the guys sitting there in trouble right now, because Dover will chew you up and spit you out. As pretty much I would say after tonight, David Edwards probably will not be. Pretty much he will not get move on to the next round, as he is 32 points behind and missed both races, so he should be well without pretty much not able to move on. As looking back at GT, who had that incident there coming to the stage in, could have won it possibly, or even finished second, got some good points, but now with some good rear end damage running there in the 16th position. Look at Craig Burns battling with Nolan Potter, and he's got the smoke up ahead of him. That's just a blinking car there. As the 12 for Craig A. Burns tries to battle his way up after he finished second last week with teammate Ryan Bean taking the win.
Doing a really good job stringing together some good runs, and hopefully, I know he's hoping he can maybe do one position better today and come home with a victory. It's not fun to settle for second, but at a place like Talladega, second is, might as well be a win.
That is for sure. You could, that place, you never know what you're going to get. So, like you said, second place can feel like a win sometimes there. As you see the 34 team going hard at battling right now for that 4th position.
Looking at that, it just tells me that the tires are not quite worn enough that the high line is going to be preferred. It still seems like you want to pin it down to the apron as much as possible, for as much speed as you can get.
There it is. Look at that front bumper came there all over the back of that ZL1 Camaro in front of him. Nice little push down into turn 3 and 4 to say, hello, I'm here. And really looking at it right now, Brandon, so we got Matthew Rush, 47 laps down, out of this race. Brock Potter, 47 laps down, out of this race. Bob Fitzpatrick, 43 laps down. Andrew Little, 29. Michael Sheffield, 28. Harold Watkins, 12 laps down. Randy Cornwell, and 9 laps down. Curtis Preston, 1 lap down, 26. All playoff drivers. So that's 8 guys out of the 16. So 8 out of the 16 already a lap down in this race. Is look back here at Matt Upbrook. They're running in the 14th position or 13th. Oh, the timing corner's flipping all over the place. Sorry about that, everybody. As he's running 16th actually. And you got the 17 at Kevin Zalabadil in the 14th position. He's got Scott Taylor right in front of him, playoff contender. So 8 playoff guys, Brandon, already having trouble here tonight.
Really not what you want to see, you know, but if you're one of the other guys that hasn't had any trouble yet, that's exactly what you want to see. You know, gain a lot of points, but not really have to do all that much extra in your race to do that. So sometimes stuff just kind of falls in your favor, and hopefully these guys are going to be able to keep it clean. I know they're hoping to keep it clean and continue it, and not maybe fall into that trap that a lot of these other guys have and lose some points by getting crashed out.
Definitely so. Definitely true there, man. And another interesting thing too is I didn't even think about this, but Curtis Preston and GT are both teammates coming for that stage win. So you know that had to hurt stage or teammates reckon for stage win. So unfortunate for those guys.
Bit of a heated discussion in the team meeting, that's for sure. So we got some of our leaders now coming into pit.
Yeah. So they come down here, says Dustin Stallings, followed by Gavin Ruff in number 12. So that goes up to lead the Nolan Potter there. So that's some valuable bonus points there to that number 34. As I believe Kevin also pitted the Anderson. Yeah, he did. So he's going up there. So he must have been the lap before.
We got the call over the radio, the 88 and 24, as well as the 52 are going to be pitting this time. Ooh, the 24 misses pit road entirely.
Oh no, Scott Taylor. Oh, that's going to hurt him. That's an X factor, man, when it comes to green flag stops. Being good under green flag stops is very, very important.
Tell you what, Zach, I think Ryan Azell in the 88 also missed pit road. He was really off pace through the tri-oval.
I'll go back and check that out. Yeah, he definitely did too, Brandon. Just gotten a little too hot, a little too late, and he'll be coming this time here. Try to get in the pit road, but we look at Craig A. Burns there, all over the back of Nolan Potter. These guys have been battling pretty much the whole entire run. It'll be interesting to see when they stop, because we're coming here. Next time by will be 11 to go on the stage. They won't definitely be able to make it to the end of the stage, but it's like, you know, when do you stop here? That is the question.
Well, honestly, thinking bigger picture, Zach, you know, you'll probably give up the stage win by pitting a little bit later, but if you're taking tires, your tires are going to be better than the guys who pit, you know, maybe 10 laps before you. So it sets you up better for the end of the race. So I think I'd stretch it as far as I could for this stage.
I completely agree. And I mean, you're not going to take tires, I don't think, here. I think you're going to take tires maybe under the stage caution. Maybe not even then. We'll have to see at that. But the decision to pit is going to be interesting as it's 10 to go in the stage here with Nolan Potter leading, Craig A. Burns, Chad B. Singer in third, Zach Trittenthrall in fourth. Actually, I think Zach, he's still out there on the track. So, yeah, some moves being made there. As Nolan Potter, of course, playoff driver. Zach Trittenthrall, playoff driver. They're going to make up some big ground, and here comes the 2 down pit road this time.
Sounds like a mad dash for everybody to come down pit road this time by, Zach.
Yep. Yep, you're exactly right. All the top 5 all coming down right here. Looks like Robert Nestor will be the lone car to stay out there in the 8 machine. These can be critical moments here for definite points. I mean, these every little thing you can get. I mean, you look at Zach Schrinthal right here, pit. Didn't oh, yeah, no tires and only fuel here. He's 20 points up coming in tonight. He moved from off the thing is too, entering last week, he was 12th in points, only 1 point to the good. After last week's stage win there at Talladega, he's 20 points up and in 6th place in points. So if he can get some more stage points again tonight, he can move himself up into the top 5 in points most likely.
Well, that's exactly right. It's beneficial for sure to win stages. I believe he also had an issue later into the race towards the end, lost a few positions after a crash, so that buffer definitely helped. And as you can see, he made a big gain in the playoff standings to move away from that bubble. So if it looks like you said he took no tires, I think that's maybe a play for the end of the race, because they should still have 2 left. Maybe just wait, like you said, until the stage break to go ahead and take that set. Save 10 laps on him. Why not? And then should a late race caution come out, it's got an extra set in the bank to gain even more positions.
I'll tell you what, it's getting hot now for the lead. Dustin Stallings in that #1 position, but Kevin Giadricic, our stage 1 winner, he wants to get stage number 2.
This is a really good position to do it. He's not far back, and if he didn't, I guess he didn't take tires.
He did. Yeah, real tight out of 4 there, lost some time, but 6 to go here in the stage. It ain't over yet.
Well, honestly, it would be awesome to win back-to-back stages, but 19 points is still spectacular.
Exactly, yeah.
So, he may be taking it easy now after pushing out of that last corner there to maybe not find himself in some trouble and just be like, you know what, okay, I'll go ahead and take 9 this time.
I mean, we've seen the incident earlier in this race, for the win, for the stage, and it did not end up well. So, yeah, you never want to put yourself in that position to ruin your night. As right now, I believe the real battle is going to be for that 10th and final position in the stage here, as Nolan Potter right now running in that 5th position, also here, also Travis Everett there in 4th, but Zach Schrittenthal running in 10th. He is just ahead of Kevin Zabladil in the 17 machine. So right now, that's going to be interesting to see, can Schrittenthal get some stage points here, as the 17 is almost to the back bumper of him now. And this lead too, these are crucial times right now for these guys. Yeah, Zach Schrittenthal will get past, but now the battle for the lead is going to continue at 3 to go. There's back to Kevin Ruff there in that 3rd position. Got about a 1.7 gap up to the leaders in front of him. Kevin's going to be within striking distance. Will we see the same thing be proved maybe from our last stage there where Curtis Preston tried to go for it? Unfortunately, did not end up very well.
Well, looking at it, it was really beneficial that they both happened to catch the lap car out of the exit, and neither of them really gained or lost anything on the other. But Kevin's looking really strong. He may just have a chance to sneak this one out for back-to-back stage wins.
Could be very correct here, and they'll be coming to the white flag next time by for stage number 2. Their Sheffield Graphics white flag for this stage. Look how close he is to the back bumper of that 84. Gets a pretty decent run. He's going to get to the outside. White flag in the air, sponsored by Sheffield Graphics. Down to turn 1. Thing is, can he do the cross? Oh, he gets the great run off the top.
I think he got to the gas a little bit too soon.
Yeah, he did. He tried to get to that quarter panel, pinch him down to the final 3 and 4. Can Dustin Stallings hold off Kevin Giadricic?
Great run coming here. See if he has to get out of it. And he does. Oof.
Yep.
Valiant
Nope.
effort.
Yeah. And it's Dustin Stallings wins stage number 2 here tonight. And there is our Nissan Central stage caution. Stage number 2 complete. Congrats to Dustin Stallings for Fly Boys Racing. And that's a great run there for him to kick off the start of this race. So after they do some pit stops here, we'll get a chat in with Mr. Dustin Stallings and see what his feelings are about winning the stage number 2 tonight. Now the pit strategy comes down, Brandon.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody's going to have to come in here and top off. But just when do you decide to take that final stop in this last stage here before the end of the race? It's going to be very crucial to, it may cost you 10 positions if you decide to do it at the wrong time. So we'll see how the crew chiefs decide to call these guys in.
Yeah, that's going to be critical, man. And you actually had Zach Schrittenthal there get 10th in that stage too, also to actually get stage points. You also had Nolan Potter in 5th getting stage points and Travis Everett in 4th getting stage points. So some playoff guys getting stage points there. So congrats to them. But the thing is here, most guys I would imagine have 2 sets of tires left. They're still going to have to make one stop for the end of this race. You take a set here, and then do you split it in half? That's my question, because it's going to be, less than 60 laps, so they can make it on one stop. It's just going to be interesting to see if someone has that extra set of tires if we do get a caution.
Well, it's hard to call because this last stage, if you break it completely in half, it's gonna be close just getting, I think, to the halfway point.
And there it is, Dustin Stallings winning the race off a pit road. And yeah, everybody taking 4 tires there, man. So most of these guys, I believe pretty much everybody has 1 set of tires left for the end of this race. And they're going to need to make one more stop. So setting themselves up pretty well. But there's your winner for the stage tonight for stage number 2. That's Dustin Stallings. And we will get a chat in with him as I try to find Mr. Stallings, as I imagine he's up here. Yes, he is. With him down to the waiting room. And Brandon, you ready for Mr. Dustin Stallings?
Oh, I definitely am. Hey, Dustin, it's Brandon up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Well, man, congratulations on your stage 2 victory. Running very strong all race. How are you approaching this race, man? You've been up there, contending and haven't seemed to drop off much. Just consistent speed, battling back and forth. It seems like we've seen the track position really be crucial. What do you think about that? Is it better to just be in front of the guy than just have more speed than him?
I feel like track position plays a big role in this race because the early part of this race is real tough to pass. But my main strategy is really just to save tires and try not to overdrive my corners.
Well, and we've noticed it seems like you can drive pretty wide open on fresh tires. When exactly are you seeing the tires fall off to where you're having to get out of it and make sure that you're not pushing too hard?
I'd probably say within 5 to 7 laps it starts to fall off for me, but I'm just trying to do what I can to save my stuff, so be there at the end to try to win this thing.
Well, Dustin, you're doing a really good job of it. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it because it's definitely working. But we will let you get back down to whatever room you were in, and hopefully we'll see you up here at the end for maybe a podium finish and perhaps a win.
All right, man. I appreciate it.
All right, that was your stage winner, Dustin Stallings in the number 93 machine, bringing home the or 84. Sorry, he has 93 in his name. That completely threw me off. No numbers for me just stick for some reason. I see them and I just say them, and yeah, that was a mistake. But yeah, Dustin Stallings here in the 84 win the stage number 2 with a stage win winner stage 1 winner Kevin Jadrosic there in third. You also got Travis Everett now making the playoffs looking pretty good for him. He's coming into tonight 8th in playoffs. Remember, 15 points up now in that second position. He could possibly even take the points lead, him or Nolan Potter.
Yeah, and taking these stage points, definitely going to help that. And we found Travis Everett. He's found himself up into second position here. Just see what it is that you need to do to adjust, your driving to find that little bit extra in an advantage in speed over these guys that have been a little bit faster than you so far in this race.
Very, very true. And yeah, and really looking at it, Travis has actually got some pretty good nose damage. So for him to be right there, very impressive from that 59 as that pace car takes a hard left turn off to pit road. And we will go back. Green flag racing as Dustin Stallings leads us to start the final stage of tonight. 60 laps. And we will see who comes out the victor.
Well, Zach, you mentioned the nose damage on the 59 of Travis Everett. I had not noticed that, and that is absolutely critical at a track where you're not out of the throttle much, and it's almost like a shorter type of plate racing. That nose damage is really going to hurt him, and he's done a spectacular job to be up here contending, like you said.
Yeah, as that starter had Kevin Jadrosic there taking the lead. You can already see Travis Everett there under attack from Craig A. Burns there for that fourth position. And this is where it's going to kill Travis the most, is on the short run. Like you said, while you're wide open, it's all about aerodynamics and having less drag, pretty much. And he's got a lot more drag than everybody pretty much in that front. Not making it downforce either.
Well, the good thing is that he's going to be a little bit slower on the short run just because of that damage, but it should force a little bit of tire saving, so he should be able to pick up a little bit on the short run or the longer run where there's more out of throttle time, but it's just kind of managing the short run here to lose as little as possible, I suppose.
Definitely so. As you see Kevin Jadrosic and Dustin Stallings battling for this race victory. Cannot forget Kevin Ruff there, not too far behind that 112. With also Craig A. Burns, Ryan Bean. Remember how good Ryan Bean, Craig A. Burns were at Talladega last week in that 25 and that 12. You also got Chad Biesinger there also in the 6th position. It's definitely looking good. I tell you what, GT Irizarry, he's right there in 7th after that early race for the stage win and getting that damage on the bumper. I'm gonna actually check his car and see if he might have been able to get a good bit of that fixed up by now,
Yeah, looking at his nose, it looks pretty clean. The damage on the rear shouldn't hurt him too much with downforce and speed, so he's done a really good job to recover.
Definitely has in that number 4 Busch machine, starting from 14th tonight. He drove all the way up to the lead, so we'll be able to see if he can maybe position himself back up front and have a chance for this victory, because he'll want those points, that's for sure, as he came in tonight second in points.
Yeah, missed out on some stage points, but a top 3 or even a top 5 finish is really going to help out, kind of mitigate that damage and the points lost. But it's still pretty early. He's got a good amount of points. I don't think he's too worried about getting bumped out. Even if he has a similar race in Dover, but definitely just trying to bank as many points as possible.
Definitely want to bank them points. That's the crucial thing going into Dover, man. I think I've repeated that multiple times tonight. Dover is a place where you don't want to go in there having to get points, because you never know what could happen. And easy mistakes there. Just you could be lead. I've seen it, leading a race, a lap car bounce off the wall, bounce off the inside wall. There's not a lot of place to go there. It's just literally walls on the inside and outside of that track. There is no apron. There's none of that. So stuff happens fast also. So can't ever be sure there.
I don't mean to change the subject, but the reactions on Facebook are going insane right now. So thank you guys, everybody out there on Facebook and YouTube for joining us tonight.
Put my good buddy Levi Cox out there. I think he's out there spamming the love for us. We love you too, Levi.
Either that or he fell asleep at the keyboard.
yeah, right. That's for sure. As Dustin Stallings takes the lead back from Kevin Jadrich. There, look at Gavin Ruff. He's trying to get up into that second position now too. And you got Craig A. Burns battling with Ryan Bean, teammates there. Man, I tell you what, these guys having a great little battle, and even GT coming into the picture also in that 14. So this is going to play out to be a heck of a finish here tonight, and I can't wait to see how that happens. The lap they pit on is going to be crucial too. Like I'm kind of interested to see when that strategy comes into effect.
That undercut, especially later into the run, if it's going to be the full fuel run, barring a caution or anything like that, you're going to be running so much faster. If somebody stays out a lap more than you, that extra lap is going to be seconds. So you can really make up a lot of time if you just can time your pit cycle correctly.
Yeah, a lot of times it's all about timing, man. Like you said, it's just doing the right strategy. Sometimes strategy is literally, some people think, oh, it's just strategy, and you got to be fast. But in these cars, strategy is huge because it's hard to separate yourself. I mean, when we had the old 900 horsepower low downforce package, yeah, sometimes strategy would help, but a lot of times it came down to really, putting yourself in those positions and driving the wheels off the cars. Oh, we got a caution here. Let's see what that is for. Oh, it looks like Randy Cornwell in the 18 machine not having a great night there with Harold Watkins also. And a little bit of contact between them two. We'll go to our Nissan Central caution here and check out this replay. As man, oh man, some unfortunate stuff here for those two drivers, two playoff drivers coming into tonight. Here we are on replay. You see the 18 get to the inside of the 22. Going down the front straightaway. Looks like the 18 comes up the racetrack. 22 comes down the racetrack. Just two race cars going for the same position, in my opinion, right there. And man, oh man, that's even more damage for Harold Watkins, more damage for Randy Cornwell. That does not help their cause here tonight, as both those guys 12 laps down and 8 laps down. So big effect on everything.
Man, Zach, and I'll tell you, what's going to make that sting even worse is that was not even a race for position. Harold was in 29th, and I believe the 18 was in 18th. So, just kind of a really unfortunate, not even racing for anything incident, taking out two cars that really need points.
Yeah, unfortunate for sure. As Nolan Potter here, you can see, stays out. I'm interested to see, all these guys coming down here. They're definitely not taking tires, in my opinion. They're all just going to take some fuel, and that's what most of them did there. As you only got one set of tires. You can't make it to the end here on fuel. You still have over 40 to go. You really can only make it up to about 28 to 30, and so it's gonna be tough. But while we're under caution, we need to give a shout out to our sponsors here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting that keep the lights on here and provide us with this great, amazing entertainment we can bring to you fans on a nightly basis. And as always, we want to send a special shout out to Rocket Racing Setups. Rocket Racing Setups is your one-stop shop for all your iRacing setup needs. They've been dominating the dirt since 2017, and after a short break, they have rebuilt and are ready to rocket their customers back to the front of the pack in 2020. They're producing setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, road, pro trucks, rallycross, and currently they have multiple setup builders working for them doing setup packs, booklets, and coaching lessons, and much more. So remember to check out Rocket Racing Setups at www.rocketracingsetups.com. And remember, you can also use promo code for 10% off at rocketracingsetups.com, and that is DLAM09. So DLAM09. So remember to use that code for 10% off for all your iRacing open setup needs. And we want to give them a huge shout out, of course. And we want to give ButtKicker, feel what you've been missing. A huge shout out also as a sponsor here for Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Every game deserves a truly immersive experience. The ButtKicker Gamer 2 lets you feel every detail, from the subtle footsteps to the rumble of a V10 powered race car, from ambient environmental effects to the power of a nearby explosion. By moving a physical mass instead of only air, the Gamer 2 provides instant, accurate, powerful base response, and it's all perfectly synced with every game with no additional software. So remember to check out ButtKicker at ButtKicker.com, and you can go get your ButtKicker Gamer 2 for your iRacing setup, or iRacing setup means your iRacing, I guess what you could call it, immersion needs. There you go. There you go, because it definitely brings the immersion. You'll be shaking your house up nice and good, getting all them effects from the butt
It's
kicker.
like VR, but with your butt.
Yeah. If you want to get your butt kicked, go to buttkicker.com. So thank them for sponsoring here, Freaky Fast, as always, and shout out to our sponsors, and also shout out to the sponsors here at RSR. Remember, you have Sheffield Graphics, which is they specialize in sim racing paint schemes as well as team logos and race posters. Remember, they do not charge for their work. All they ask is for a donation to the Folds of Honor, with a link directly to donate at their to the charity at their Sheffield Graphics Facebook page. They're based out of Chesapeake, Virginia, and owned by Michael Sheffield, one of the drivers here at RSR. And remember, you can find them at facebook.com/Sheffield Graphics. So check out Sheffield Graphics. Also sponsor here at RSR, and also the primary sponsor here at RSR is Or Nissan Central. It's the leading Nissan dealership in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Go check out their website at www.ornissancentral.com. And we just want to thank all of our wonderful sponsors out there for letting us provide this great action here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting, and thank you to the Elite Racing League here. We're getting ready to go back green, guys, with Nolan Potter and Zach Schrittenthal leading this race here. 2 playoff guys. Let's see how this plays out. There they go. Green is in the air. Nolan Potter takes off with completing lap 100. We have 40 to go in this thing. Meadow Man is about to get freaky crazy.
Yeah, Zach, looking at that restart, Kevin Sibilla in the 78 did not get a great restart, kind of stacked him up behind him. And good job of these guys not making any moves to shoot it 3 wide and just let it settle down and make the pass later on.
Definitely so. It's one of those things now. They got the track position up front here. Look at also Matt Oakbrook. Have not spoken one word really about him all night there in that third position. He comes in here being a really good race here tonight, as he was second into points entering the playoffs. Now he fell all the way to 11th, only 7 points up on that cut line. And he needs a good race here tonight to be able to push himself up, as the other guys have had a lot of trouble. So definitely going to see what Matt can do here in this 16 as he goes up to the high side, letting Dustin Stallings by. As now it's Nolan Potter's extra throw. Dustin Stallings making his move.
Yeah, a lot of the good job by these playoff drivers, finding their way to the front at the end here when they really need to be up in the front for points. As we said before in the broadcast tonight, stage points are great, but big picture, you've got to make it to the end of the race to really maximize your points.
That is for sure, man. Look at Ryan Bean there getting by Matt Upbrook in that 33, or 16, sorry, as he started 33rd. Now Ryan Bean up to that top 5 position, a 5th now after his race win last week in that 25.
And just behind Matt Upbrook, GT Irizarry, still hanging on in 7th place, still looking to finish out a good rebound here.
Definitely so. I tell you what, that is impressive. GT Irizarry there bouncing back, now up to 6th after that contact at the end of stage 1. It'll be interesting to see if he can continue his way back up here, as Dustin Stallings now back to the lead. You also got Kevin Ruff too, about to make the charge for 2nd.
Well, Zach, I never thought I'd see anybody but Larry Yangling pull a Larry Yangling. So good job for GT. The lead is really heating up, man. They're dicing all over the place, just trying to find a good place to stick the run that they're getting.
Yeah, there, and look at Kevin Sabilla. He's getting past there to move back to the 10th position, as Kevin Jadrsic there makes the move past him. Kevin Sabilla is a playoff contender coming tonight, 5th in points. So just needing a decent points tonight. There is Craig A. Burns now behind the 12th machine.
Yeah, looking at Kevin Sabilla's nose, he's got a good bit of damage on both of his fenders there. It's definitely slowing him down, but to be hanging on to 10th position so far is still a really good job.
Yeah, he's doing a great job. Just, you know, that thing is, you got to understand nights when other people are having trouble, and I think that's what he's got to do is just understand other guys are having trouble out here, and you get some decent points. And that's what you're seeing is look at this battle up front now. Zach Schrittenthal trying to hold off GT, Ryan Bean. Man, it's starting to get wild up here, and the runs are getting bigger, and the people taking the chances are getting a lot bigger too.
Yeah, still have 32 laps to go. There's still plenty of time. Don't need to do anything too crazy just yet, but slowly making their way into the positions they want to find themselves in for the end of the race to potentially grab the win.
And there goes GT Irizarry up to 4th position after the incident early in this race. What a job by him to get himself back up in here in the top 4 and have a chance at a really good points night, even though it could have all went sour early on.
And, you know, looking at his lap time, Zach, he's only 2/10 off from Kevin Ruff that last time by, and only 1/10 off from Dustin Sullings and Nolan Potter. So very, very competitive speed wins.
Definitely looking strong so far. It's not playing too big a factor with that rear end damage there. And if it is, he's doing a good job of making it look like it's not. Question is, can he hold off Ryan Bean? Because Ryan Bean is really putting the pressure on.
May not. He may just, you know, not push the issue here. As we've got coming up on the 18 car, a little bit off the pace, but navigates that just fine. He may not try to put up too much of a fight here and not burn up his tires with still such a long way to go in this race.
Still a long, long way to go. That's for sure, man. You can't overdo it here or this early. It's still still need a pit stop. Like, no reason to get too crazy here and ruin your night without getting a final pit stop. You know, I usually say rule of thumb, final pit stop. That's when you drop the hammer.
Yeah, if some of these guys, you know, it looks like the last pit stop, a lot of guys only took fuel. It may be one set or one side of tires left or right. Probably wouldn't want to take the right side that early, but if they still have one set of tires left, you just give it all it's got. After that last pit stop, there's no reason to save at that point. It's really when we're going to see guys make super aggressive moves, just trying to gain every little bit of advantage they can.
Yeah, you know, one thing I noticed here, it's really interesting is Giadra he has not been able to move up like Stallings and Ruff were. I mean, he was top 3 up here pretty much the whole race. Now running in the 8th position, battling with Craig Burns there for 7th. I mean, he is slowly starting to creep his way into the picture. But, you know, he said he was saving tires here a lot. So maybe just a little too much saving.
Well, you know, Zach, I was just about to say that after talking to Kevin and Dustin after their stage wins. You know, they both had the same idea to just save tires and, you know, not burn them up. And he's just making slow gains. There's still a lot of time left. There's no reason to really push and, you know, burn them up, as I believe the 16 is pitting this time by. Oh yes, and the 27 of Marc-Andre Thibodeau.
Yeah, they are coming down this time with 24 to go. That's it's definitely in the window to make it to the end. Now we even got GT battling with Nolan Potter up there for 3rd. GT Irizarry.
Nolan Potter, he's calling that he's coming in. Kevin Siblin, the 78, also calling out his pitting. Zach Schrittenthal is calling out that he's pitting. A lot of guys decided to come in this time.
Yeah, you know, my thing is the earlier you can get it done, probably the better. It's the looking at these times, these guys are really starting to plateau once they get to like the 31s and 30.9s. So gonna be very interested to see how that all shakes out. I mean, we only got 25 to go, as I misread earlier. Sorry about that. 25 to go now. So, you know, at some point you're going to run out of laps to catch these guys back up. So, got to do something.
Well, you know, we're definitely within the fuel window, so the guys are not going to have to worry about running out of fuel at this point. Everybody can make it. But you're exactly right. You know, if you hit a little bit too late, then that whole advantage on fresher tires just goes out the window. There's just simply not enough time. And honestly, I think I'd prefer to be the lead car and make them have to run me down than be the one that has to be flawless with every lap to make the speed to run the car down. And, you know, possibly burn up the tires, get in the fence, something, and just, you know, I don't want to be in the position where I can't make a mistake.
Completely agree with you there. You know, you never want to be in that position to where, you know, it's just undoable. And right now, these front two are really starting to pull away. And for them, I like the strategy to keep going. But at some point, they're definitely going to need to pit. The thing is, that they catch a caution, though. Caution will be the deciding factor in all this. If we catch a caution and someone hadn't pitted, they're going to have tires, and you're going to see them very much have a chance to win this race.
Well, and right now, you know, there's a lot of guys that are pretty vulnerable that are still trapped a lap down. And, you know, yeah, they get to take the wave around, but like you said, the cars that are on the lead lap get to pit, and they've got fresh tires, and they're not going to lose any positions. Whereas these guys that are going to have to take the wave around have to start at the very end of the field. They've got the older tires. They're not going to be as quick. So they're hoping that this cycles around. As we've talked about before, green flag pit stops, it's the most vulnerable everybody is, with so many people on fresher tires catching people on older tires. As we've got the 9 of Kevin Jedrzejczyk calling it was pitting this time by.
Yes, he does. Number 9 coming down pit road here. Got Craig A. Burns. Look at Travis Everett starting to come back into the picture. That's the thing. Once the tires start to wear, Travis Everett really starts to come into the picture with that damage he's had. It's like I said, I think that slows him down at the beginning of runs. But man, he's got some good pace once these tires start to wear.
Oh, talking about Travis Everett, he's pitting this time, as well as Dustin Stallings and GT Irizarry, as well as the 6.
Everybody.
And the 29. Everybody's coming in.
Yeah, it looks like Craig A. Burns is going to stay out with Ryan Bean, I believe, also. Oh, Ryan Bean comes down. That's going to be Chad Biesinger, Kevin Zablodil, Robert Nestor, David Hall. So, top 5 staying out right now. We got 19 to go. I think this is the best time to go ahead and get the pit stop done. You need to get it done as soon as possible. I think it's going to be interesting to see where they come out compared to Nolan Potter, who pitted there pretty early.
Well, looking at it here, it looks as though Nolan may just cycle out ahead of them.
Very much so. That's not a big gap. I mean, unless he's out here running really conservative laps, he's not going to cycle to the lead, I don't believe. He'll be right behind him here, actually, yeah. And really, his lap times are not. Did he not take tires? Is my question.
That is a good question. He took a 14.9 second pit stop, so I'd imagine that he took tires.
He did. I think he must have just been saving them. I mean, no reason to go. I guess burn him up. I guess is the way he was looking at him, because he felt like he was going to cycle to the front here. My thing is, though, you got to go now. As you're running 30.8s, yeah, he dropped that lap time down to a 30.4 as soon as these guys came out. So he was definitely saving something. Now it's just going to be interesting to see if he can hold off Stallings then, because, you know, they can run up to 29-second laps. I think it's going to be a matter of moments here as you see Dustin Stallings go to the bottom, get to the inside of Nolan Potter.
Well, Zach, it may be a scoring error, but according to the data, Dustin Stallings only had a 3.2 second pit stop.
Really?
So he just splashed some fuel.
Let's check that. He took tires.
Okay, so yes, it was a scoring error then. That was odd. I was like, why would he only take a splash of fuel?
Very interesting there. Still Kevin Zabladil still out here. And Chad Biesinger there also in second, Robert Nestor in third, David Hall in fourth, Scott Taylor in fifth, Robert Ezel in sixth, Junior Miller seventh, Anthony Yuns is eighth, Michael Martino is ninth, and then Dustin Stallings will be in 10th. So pretty much ninth on has not pitted yet.
Oh, and that's exactly what we talked about.
Is the caution go come out?
Oh, they're saving it. Wow. Calvin Ruff
Yeah.
and Kevin Zabladil, they just made contact, had the leaders come up on, or the guys on new tires catching up to the leaders that hadn't pit yet, and it was a mess, man. Guys diving everywhere, trying not to run over people, and there's just a little bit of contact, and they did a great job of not spinning out and getting turned in the infield like that.
Definitely did. As man, Kevin Ruff there, unfortunate as he was definitely right there running in that, would be second place position. Oh, and he runs up on the back of Robert Nestor, yeah, on the new tires. You will see the difference here. And I believe a lot of these other guys, Brandon, can make it to about 10 to go. As you see, actually Nestor coming down this time.
You know, a lot of these guys, they might have been banking on a caution, and they've come very close to getting that caution to get the advantage of the fresher tires on these guys that have already hit. But unfortunately, I don't think it's going to quite work out for them.
Definitely not. You can see the smoke there on the screen. That was, I believe, for a blinking car. So kind of scared me for a moment there. With GT moving up to 6th now, he's passed. I believe he just got past Nolan Potter. Yeah, he did. And now behind Kevin Giadricic, and I think that'll cycle out to be second and third. Actually, with Travis Everett there in second. So once it cycles through, yeah, Travis Everett in second, Kevin Giadricic there in third, leader Dustin Stallings at first.
Well, it was a good pit cycle for a lot of these guys. That could have went horribly with just an ill-timed caution, but everything cycled around, and it doesn't seem like really anybody made that much of a gain on anyone else.
Not really. You're right about that. Looking at right here, really the only big gain was Dustin Stallings. He 2.5 second lead. These guys are gonna need a caution for that for them to catch that guy.
Yeah, he's got a monster lead. He said he was saving tires. Clearly, he's not saving anymore.
And you also got Travis Everett and Kevin Giadricic right here, who are both teammates for Humi Motorsports. They're running their second and third. They're going to try to probably lock the second and third up, as you got GT there, Irizarry there behind them.
And again, said it before, GT, it's been a really great recovery for him, sitting in the top 5 right now. Really just hoping that there's no cautions and everything stays strung out like this.
Yeah, definitely going to be wild as we're under 10 to go with 9 to go. And that lead down to 2.2. If these guys can work together, though, it could very well work out. I mean, we'll have to see here with 9 to go. They closed in a good little bit last time by. It was about 0.2. They're going to need more than that, but we'll see.
I think they've also got to be hoping that Dustin Stallings catches lap traffic at a really bad time, loses some momentum, and they can take advantage of it. But he's been navigating them pretty well so far.
Yeah, and they actually lost the 10th right there, so that definitely goes out the window with 8 to go. They're going to want to have to see a caution here if they want a chance at this victory. But at the end of the day, I think if I'm Travis Everett with that damage, I would not want to see a caution. I want to see this thing go all the way to the end in these final 8 laps and just give me those third place points. I'm sure he'll be very happy about that.
Absolutely. I don't think he's worried about passing Kevin right now and costing them both time to GT behind them, because they're running pretty equal laps. So he's not really going to be worried about losing third position if they just run single file like this.
Yeah, definitely. GT's not far back. That's the thing. And you also got Craig A. Burns there in 5th. So see if if GT can close in. And Travis is actually starting to. He's all over the back bumper of teammate Kevin Jadricic there for that second position. I think actually that last time by, GT was about 4 tenths away from Kevin. So Travis may have to go around teammate Kevin Jadricic here if he wants to have a shot at the podium finish.
Yeah, GT did a really good job that last lap and really closed the gap here. And now, especially with the draft, he's able to roll the center so much better than those two. It's not going to be long, I imagine, about a lap, maybe a lap and a half. He's probably going to be passing those guys.
GT right here, entering 1 and 2, riding on board with him. 5 to go as Dustin Stallings continues to fly. He gets to the inside of Travis Everett. Can he pull off this pass? It's going to be tough. Trying to make the bottom work. Can Travis Everett pull him back on the outside? Down the straightaway they go.
Rolling a little bit higher to try to gain something down the front stretch here, but not quite enough.
And I think GT should clear going off into 1 here. Can Travis stick it to the outside and make it work? Decent run off the corner. Looks like he'll try to go to the inside, but GT's going to throw the block. What a rebound here for GT if he can pull off this podium finish. Does clear Travis Everett. So that pushes Travis Everett back forward. Still good points for Travis, though, if you're looking at the playoff side of things. Still very, very good points. And Craig A. Burns is not far behind. Maybe Craig can be able to steal that 4th position for him, but it's not over for second either. As we come into 2 to go, next time by as they get on the back straightaway here. Leader Dustin Stallings out to a 3-second lead, so he is continuing to pull away. That man is looking dominant.
And he is still, 2/10 a lap quicker every lap, so not much chance, barring a caution, for them to catch him. But, second place, third place still up for grabs. And then you talked about Craig Burns. He's still in the hunt for at least one more position.
That he is. GT here, here's Zary there for Slide Job Racing. Kevin Ruff there in 6th, and the white flag brought to you by Sheffield Graphics is in the air. 1 lap to go for Dustin Stallings as he goes down to turn 1 with a 3.3 second lead. The battle will be for second as Kevin Jadricic is coming out of turn 2. GT getting a pretty good run out of 2. Can he make something happen down here in the 3? Travis Everett not too far behind with the lap cars up top. Oh man, Travis trying to go to the middle. Who's going to come back here as Dustin Stallings comes off a 4 down the front straightaway and is your Sheffield Graphics race winner here in the RSR Cup Series, with Kevin Jadricic coming home 2nd, GT Irizarry coming home in 3rd. So congrats to them, gentlemen. What a race we had here tonight for the RSR Cup Series in race number 2 of the round of 16. Had some big shakeups, and I'm sure the playoff standings are going to be wild after when we get to Dover next week.
Absolutely. There's going to be a lot of guys that I think are going to need a good race at Dover, and that's a tall order, to say the least.
That it is, Brandon, as we'll see Dustin Stallings here bring it to the start-finish line. See if he does a little burnout here. Yes, he does. Going to light them tires up in that 84, and as he does that, we will go to a little break and get our top 3 finishers here. All right, we are back here, ladies and gentlemen, and we got our top 3 podium finishers here tonight from Chicagoland Race or Speedway, and we will get talking with these gentlemen about how their race went here tonight. So first in third place, we got GT in that number 14. We'll see what his thoughts are on tonight's race. Hey, GT, it's Zach in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How are you?
Oh, doing good, GT, man. Well, what a race it was for you tonight, man. You started in that 14th position there in stage 1, and you drove yourself all the way up to the lead. And unfortunately, they're coming to the stage in. Just a little incident between you there and Curtis Preston, and causing a little damage. But what a rebound for you to come back to third tonight, man. How was the racing out there for Chicagoland?
Well, I mean, the Freaky Fast number 14 was good. I had a bonehead move and ended up turning my my teammate there. I really didn't. I was trying to pull the crossover on him, and you know, my thought was right, but apparently we bumper grabbed and I turned him toward the wall. I mean, that's twice I've done that to him, and it certainly owes me. But no, I mean, we had a fast car. It was I think it was our race, and unfortunately my bonehead move, gave it away. But I mean, we're happy to get a slide jobs racing car into third, and that was about it.
Yeah, definitely all night. Unfortunate, like you said there, just a little mistake, like you said, trying to pull the crossover there, and sometimes it's hard to see how just how close you are, just a little bump, and these things hook real quick, like you said with the bumpers. They like to attach, that's for sure, man. But you came into points here tonight too in second. You were close to getting that stage win and getting them 10 bonus points, but coming up third tonight with especially a lot of guys having trouble throughout this race is going to put you in a pretty good position, possibly even the points leader when we go to Dover. So how you feeling about Dover next week, GT?
Dover's kind of one of those tracks there, we're either, mediocre, we're good, or we suck really bad. As anybody knows that races knows that Dover, I mean, you just got to keep the fenders on it in order to be good there at the end, because it'll easily, crash the car to where, I mean, you're junk. So, I mean, we just got to kind of keep that in mind, with these large fields and stuff like that. And hopefully, I don't get tangled up with the 29 again. I mean, again, I can't tell you how bad I feel about that, but, it is what it is. It's racing. I mean, him and I, we race hard with each other all the time, and, we wouldn't expect anything less, out of each other, regardless if we're teammates. But Dover, we feel good about it. I like the track. It's just, you got to race. It's almost like a Darlington, you kind of got to race that track and not worry about everything else that's going on around you. But, you even doing that, you can still get caught up in other people's stuff. So, that being said, hey, it is what it is, man. I'm super, ecstatic to come home third tonight. I did not expect that after being caught, causing that one wreck right there. So.
Yeah, definitely a great rebound, like I said earlier, from you, GT there, man. And it should put you pretty good points-wise going into Dover. And like we said all night, Dover's definitely a place you don't want to be sitting under that cut line, because it can, like you said, at any moment something can happen. So congrats on the third here tonight, GT. Anybody want to send a shout to before we let you know, man?
Really want to thank RSR League for putting this on. This is I got to say, man, this group of guys we have here is really cool. I mean, everybody is gets along with everybody. It's hard racing. There's a lot of give and take on the track. I really do appreciate that. Ryan's a great guy, and he's doing really good at getting this thing going. I want to thank my teammates over there on Slide Job Racing. I mean, because honestly, I've say it, whenever we get interviewed, I tell them, I mean, I can't do this without them. I mean, they help me so much on the fuel mileage strategy. It's stupid. I mean, without them, it would be very hard to do. Thank you guys over here at Freaky Fast for coming out. You guys got to watch the Freaky Fast Ford Mustang actually wreck somebody and then still finish third. So yeah, that's coming out, man.
Awesome, GT, man. Well, congrats, and we will hopefully catch you next week on the podium at Dover, man.
Guys, y'all have a good night.
All right, that was GT Irizarry there, third place finisher tonight. Good points night for him as he came here second in points. And now we got two non-playoff drivers, so not no playoff focus for these two, but these guys are just focusing on wins and building momentum for the next season. So We'll get talking here with Kevin Giadricic and see what his thoughts are after a stage win and second place finisher. Hey, Kevin, it's Zach up in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Kevin, well, bud, what a race it was for you tonight, man. You came home in the second place finish after starting in that third place position. You got you a stage victory, a second place in the next stage, and then you were able to bring it home second. So how did Chicagoland play out for you here tonight, man?
And overall, it played out well, dude. I didn't practice. My first laps tonight was literally qualifying. So, I mean, given the circumstances, it played out pretty well. Just a tough race.
Definitely was. Yeah, this track right here is definitely an interesting one, man. You can go wide open for a while, and then the tires start to fall off, and it becomes a definite driver's track. And you all night looked really good on the long runs. And you told us earlier your plan was to save tires. Did you think you saved the tires well tonight, or you think you could have done maybe a little bit better with that?
I mean, obviously, I did pretty well because, I finished second. But I do not know what Dustin was doing. He drove the damn wheels off that car, and I don't know how he still had tires on it at the end. Like, I feel like I did well saving tires, and a second place finish shows that. But as far as Dustin and some of the other guys go, I just don't know how they managed it.
Yeah, he definitely did a great job saving his stuff, but you also did too, man, there to bring it up to second. As great run for you all night. We go on to Dover next week. How you feeling about Dover, Kevin?
Dover's one of my best tracks. I usually run top 5 at Dover, so it'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
Awesome stuff, man. Well, congrats on the second place finish tonight and the stage victory. So great points tonight for you overall. Anybody wants to shout to before we let you go?
Yeah, man, just want to give a shout out to Legacy. I want to give a shout out to Austin Derbyshire over at Derbyshire Media. And just want to thank Ryan and all you guys for putting the show on for us.
Some stuff, Kevin, man. Well, congrats again on second. And hopefully next week we're talking to you on the podium again, buddy. So good luck. All right, that was Kevin Giadricic there tonight in the number 9, bringing home second place. But Dustin Stallings is your victory man tonight here at Chicagoland Speedway, bringing home the victory. And before I bring him up, actually, I want to look and see where he is at here in the points. And this is his first win. So, yes, so his first victory here at RSR. So let's get talking with our winner for the night. Hey, Dustin, it's Zach in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Well, man, you got your first victory here tonight in the RSR Cup Series at Chicagoland Speedway. I'll tell you what, bringing home the stage victory and really just driving away at the end of the race right there, man. I'll tell you what, that was one heck of a show for you. How's it feel to get a win?
It was awesome. Right there at the end, I was just hoping and praying that a caution would come out with about 5 laps to go, because I don't think I would have had the stuff to hold these guys off on the restart. But definitely glad that ended up finishing under green. But I gotta give it to all the guys. It was a tough race.
Yeah, it definitely was a tough race overall, man. Great racing too. We see on the racetrack. Really at the end there, just went super green there at the end and had only a few cautions. So really had to come down to who didn't use up their tires and who was able to make them last. And it just seemed like you had really good speed on the takeoff and even just amazing speed on the long run. So how did you make the tires work for you tonight?
I was just really trying to not dive into the corner and make the car push through the center, but I just kind of took my time and just ran and hit my marks and made sure I tried to stay off the wall as best as I could.
Well, you did an awesome job of that, Dustin, tonight, man. You definitely were the class of the field there at the end of this race and deserved that victory. We go to Dover next week here in the RSR Cup Series. How you feeling about Dover, man?
I'm kind of iffy about it. Dover ain't really one of my strongest tracks, but you never know what could happen at Dover. Just take it week by week and just see what happens.
Definitely so. Yeah, Dover could be a tough one, but I'm sure at the performance you're feeling here tonight, you'll be able to figure it out, man. So congrats on the victory. Before we let you go, anybody wants to shout to?
First and foremost, I want to give a shout out to David Gonzalez. All the stuff that he's going through, hope he's doing well, and hope his family's doing all right. And definitely dedicating this win to him. But I want to thank RSR and Ryan for putting on this league. We got a fantastic group of guys, and by far the best racing I've had, and have a blast doing it. And that's really what it's all about. And I want to thank my girlfriend for letting me do this on Tuesday nights, and it means a lot.
Awesome, Dustin. Well, man, congrats on the victory, buddy, and we will see you at Dover next week.
Thank you. You have a good one.
You too, man. All right, that was your race winner there, Dustin Stallings, in that 84 machine for Flyboys Racing, bringing home the victory here at the Chicagoland Speedway. I tell you what, he did a fantastic job all night, and really good job by him. So we will move on to our final race results here tonight at the RSR Cup Series. And there we just had a talk with the fine gentleman of Dustin Stallings there in that number 84, bringing home that victory. Second place is going to go to Kevin Giadrosich there, and third will be GT Irizarry. Fourth is Travis Everett. Fifth goes to Craig A. Burns. Sixth is Kevin Ruff. Seventh goes to last week's winner, Ryan Bean. Eighth is Nolan Potter, playoff contender there. Matt Upbrook coming home in ninth. Zach Strithenthal in 10th. 11th goes to Richard Gonzalez. 12th is Chad Wiesinger. 13th is Casey Coops. 14th is Kevin Zabladil. 15th goes to Kevin Sabilla. 16th, David Hall. 17th is Nathan Campbell. 18th is Robert Nestor. And we'll move down the list here. And there, 19th is Scott Taylor. 20th is going to go to Ryan Ezel. 21st, Marc-Andre Thibodeau. 22nd is Junior Miller. 23rd is Curtis Preston. 24th, Michael Martino the third. 25th, Adam Buzzio. 26th goes to Anthony Yuns. 27th, Daniel Gonzalez. 28th, Randy Cornwell. 29th, Harold Watkins. 30th, Andrew Little. 31st, Brock Potter. 32nd, Drew Hatcher. 33rd, Michael Sheffield. 34th, Bob Fitzpatrick. 35th, Tony Ludy. 36th, Matthew Rush. And rounding out the field is Michael Haru in 37th. And you can see all those yellow numbers down there at the bottom of this list. So big shakeup coming into points. And man, oh man, we'll have to check that out next week at Dover, guys. But what a race we've seen here. And that is there's your playoff finisher. So GT, of course, will be the first of the playoff drivers here tonight. And then from there, you can see really from 7th on down, multiple laps down for those guys. Tough night. But I'm sure at Dover, some of those guys will bounce back, and some of them are going to have a rough time too, because that track is a beast, man. It can tear you up. But what a night we've had here at the RSR Cup Series. Thank you to all the sponsors and all the fans out there that watch your Freaky Fast broadcasting. It's been a wonderful night.
It has been. Go ahead, Brandon. Floor is yours.
Well, just, interesting race. A lot of fun to watch. Some incidents for some guys that needed a lot of points and some good races, and other guys that were able to capitalize on those misfortunes pretty well. So Dover should be a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to it.
That indeed we are. All right, well, we will catch everybody next week at Dover here for the RSR Cup Racing League. We thank you to them for letting us be a part of this league. We thank the drivers for being a part of Freaky Fast and this league. But, well, guys, we'll be live tomorrow night, 7:50 with SRU for some truck racing. So hopefully everybody is not busy and can tune in on their Wednesday night and give us a shout out on the chat and YouTube and Facebook. But until then, me, Zach, and Brandon like to say thank you again from Chicagoland. But we'll catch you in the next one. God bless everybody. We love you all. Peace out.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.